Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games. I am one of your hosts, Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. I don't have the unhinged media opinion today. Everybody else does. We were talking about Kevin Costner. You're welcome.
I watched Die Hard, and then I watched Kevin Costner's Robin Hood last night. So, Alan Rickman double feature, which is great, but also we were talking about how aggressively Christian Kevin Costner's Robin Hood is. Like, not to his detriment, but my God.
Yeah.
Aggressively Christian.
So that's what we've been talking about this morning. I, meanwhile, have been in a exclusively Dimension 20 content rabbit hole, and I will not be coming out of that for probably until after this show ends, which could be any moment. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, our long-running pulp action meets cosmic horror campaign. Oh yes, I do have the superior cultist. I need the roll to see where the window is. It's yes. They can't see it in the game, but y'all can see it at home. Before we go around and meet everyone and their characters, we have some channel shout outs. Firstly, a ton of thanks to our sponsor, starting with Roll20, a virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy to use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We are part of their ambassador program, which highlights indie tabletop creators all across the interwebs. Spelljammer just came out. All on Roll20. There's like a bundle and everything. You can go check it out. Also, thank you to Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co. If you like your shiny math rocks, if you like your soaked bean energy juice, these are two awesome companies to get those from. We have like affiliate links, we have discount codes, they're around, they're below, or they're in the chat. You'll see them. Thank you for that, Resub Sphinx. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed, gifted subs, followed, chatted, lurked, liked, commented on YouTube. We super appreciate it. If you would like to support us further, there are tip incentives listed down below that can seriously impact the game using bits or our Streamlabs tip jar. Just click on the panel image, affect the game. It'll take you right where you want to go. It is always appreciated, but never expected. Last thing, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X, N, and O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters, that content warning list has grown, while the characters may be put through hell or whatever it was the sorceress was about to do to them, the players are here to have fun, and they're our priority always. Without further ado, let's meet them, starting with Kienna.
Hello, I'm Kienna. I'm the Sweet the channel. My pronouns are she and they, but today I'm playing Irene Blackwell, whose pronouns are she and her. She doesn't know it anymore, but her boyfriend almost died. And she couldn't do anything about it. But now maybe her boyfriend won't die, and maybe she will be able to do something about it. So
Maybe.
we love time fuckery here.
Yeah, we certainly do. And we definitely expected it. Let's go over to Allison.
Hey everybody, it's Allie. I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, once the archetypical woman of the age of rationality and progress, now she who surrenders to the madness to fight the madness. And I mean, there's a lot of madness right now. It's like everywhere, oozing madness out of every corner of the map on this screen. I'm here for it. Let's do this.
Excellent. And thank you to Alexis for that tip. Everybody gets a reroll. Let's go down to Summer.
Hi, it's me, the one who almost died and then didn't die. Oh my god, who could have seen that coming?
Could have seen it coming.
Me, who frequently brags about being invincible and immortal forever. Who
if I kill one of these characters, listen up. If I kill one of these characters, it's going to be Charlie.
Which is a great indicator that no one will die during this campaign. we're all going to make it safely to the end. I can't wait. Yeah, hi, I'm Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing one Mr. Charlie Rapp, who uses he, him pronouns. And quirky girl things. I've done this before. This is nothing new to Charlie Rapp. Dying, almost dying, and then being saved with a pocket watch. It's just Charlie things.
Wow.
Can't wait to see what happens instead.
Great. Fantastic. Let's go over to the person who used a valuable resource on Charlie Rapp and I'm sure has no regrets about it. Tommy.
Zero regrets at all.
No
Zero
regrets.
No regrets at all. I mean, here's the thing. The majority of times that Zeb has been tempted to use the pocket watch, I think have almost all involved Charles specifically. So Zeb's been pretty much prepared. That it was pretty much, he knew it was going to be used on Charles at some point. But yes, hi, I'm Tommy. I play Zebulon Gustin Claiborne Montgomery the Third. We both use he, him, and I'm super excited.
Excellent. Good. Wonderful. If you're joining us for the first time or the first time in a long time, this motley crew is trying to stop an apocalyptic event from occurring. Their journey started when their good friend Jackson Elias was murdered for investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, the members of which were all formerly presumed dead. Since then, they've uncovered a global conspiracy involving various death cults who all worship different aspects of the same eldritch god. Many names, many forms, but all the same and to one end. This has taken them from Peru to New York to England, Shanghai, Australia, Egypt, and finally, Kenya. The cults were working together to build a machine to rupture and taint the sky, but our heroes stopped that part of the plan. However, the cults in Africa are still thriving and preparing for the great ritual on January 14th, 1926, 100 days from today, Wednesday, October 7th, 1925, which is 10 days before the next new moon and the prophesied birth of the spawn of Nyarlathotep. Last time, the group, led by Akomu, traveled 3 days north across the plains to Mount Satima, or the Mountain of the Black Wind. On the way, you tried to figure out what to do regarding Annie and the spawn, but there seemed to be no good solution. On the fourth day, you entered what locals called the Corrupt Ground, the spot where the Carlisle expedition died 6 years ago. It was then that Ganymede realized this Akomu you'd been traveling with was markedly different from the one you spoke to on your first day in the village. And Charles noticed cultists of the Bloody Tongue converging on you, as well as something flying overhead. Something big. As blades and guns were drawn, Akomu, in fact, a grotesquely disguised Mweru, began to chant. Charles and Zeb disrupted the sorceress while Ganymede and Irene fended off cultists. But soon Mweru's extraction arrived, in the form of a winged beast the size of an elephant, which swooped down and swiftly put Charlie at death's door. Mweru seemed intent on finding one Hypatia Masters, and when Ganymede wouldn't lay down arms, Zeb made a call. Zeb activated Jackson Elias's pocket watch and turned back the clock 1 minute. There it is. In this eternal yet ephemeral moment, Zeb, you see how things would have played out. Ganymede blowing the white strand of hair out of her eyes and taking her shot. It connects, but Moeru doesn't even flinch. No blood is spilt. Moeru finishes her spell from the air astride this dragon-like beast, and appearing in her hand is something bloody and pulsing. The next thing you notice is Irene falling to the ground, clutching her chest, though you see no wound. Moeru clutches the beating organ in her hand. Your own body is swiftly cut to shreds as more cultists of the Bloody Tongue appear, intent on subduing Ganymede next. But that hasn't happened yet. Zeb, I'm gonna need 2 sanity checks.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Love it.
That timing worked out real nice. High five. Yes.
Manifesting critical success. Let's go.
Nice.
Manifesting
Okay.
critical success.
Okay.
Oh.
Great. So you lose 4 points of sanity.
Not too bad.
Not so much for being the only one now who has seen this. Dragon is the only word you can ascribe to it, but for watching this play out, and then the hair on your body stands on end. The whole place feels like an electrical storm is about to hit, like right before lightning strikes. And then you're just walking through the brush. Akomu is in the lead, hacking away at the undergrowth, turning over his shoulder, looking back at Ganymede and saying, sometimes you just have to do things the old-fashioned way, eh? It's
Zeb
1 minute
immediately-
ago.
Yeah, Zeb immediately draws his sword and points it at Okomu, like up close.
Question. Has time rewound to before I made that clutch psychology
No,
check?
it's right now.
Okay, good.
Charles hasn't seen anything yet because you haven't actually entered the corrupt ground.
Yeah.
So you've just made your psychology check, and Zeb has just drawn the Sword of Akamala on Akomu, who stops what they're doing as they kind of feel it.
It's up to their neck.
Yeah.
Like up to his neck. So
Yeah.
And Ganymede, seeing that and having trust, implicit trust in Zebulon, well, she's been carrying her shotgun, but she'll turn it to point it at Komu, but she'll look at Zeb like, what's happening?
I think Charlie just is like, Jesus Christ. Like, he's just kind of like, what the fuck is happening? But he says it like under his breath because he's like, I mean, he trusts his friends too, but there's like no indicator that this was coming
Right.
at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you've
zero
been
indicator.
with
Zero
Akomu
indicator.
3
For
days.
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
3
think
days,
Charlie's just like,
everything
what
been
the
fine.
fuck?
Gosh damn it, y'all. We have been. Why don't you reveal who you really are?
You figured it out.
The shade.
Joke's on her because no, he did not figure it out.
That's not gonna say anything like that. That is not gonna dissuade her of that no shit.
Okay.
Take the W, my friend. Take the W.
Yeah. Well, color me impressed. And the voice has definitely changed. It's a lot less stilted, a lot more lyrical. you want me to show them?
Just your face, nothing else.
From
No
the
funny business.
yeah, from the back. It's kind of done in an instant. Whereas a moment ago everything was like perfectly, tightened and just looked like normal skin, much like in let's reference Hellraiser here. It starts to kind of pucker. And she slowly moves her hand to be able to kind of wipe it, like pull it back. And you see the beautiful face of the woman you've only seen one photograph of before, of Moeru, probably in her, she looks like she's maybe in her mid-20s. Very intense eyes. Her hair comes loose, it's braided and lies upon her shoulders. There's this kind of, regalness to her features. But she turns now with her face exposed, and other parts of the skin she's wearing do begin to kind of slough off, but she doesn't move to remove them on her own.
Yeah, Charlie, because he was like, Jesus Christ, like, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, damn, good job, Zeb. And he'll pat Zeb on the back. Not saying anything, but definitely like, oh, wow, look at that craziness.
Yeah, same for Ganymede.
We just stop everything to do a round of high fives with Zeb, pretty much.
We do high fives, we turn back, and Moeru's gone.
In fact, she's like in this moment, looking at some of your stunned faces, and she says, "Oh no, something's happened." What did you do?
Why are you looking for Miss Masters?
She has this expression. Make a psychology roll with a penalty die.
With a penalty, though.
Yeah, she's hard to read.
Very
Or
testing.
no, I'm just gonna up the difficulty. So just make a regular
Hard.
one. Yeah, just hard.
Yeah. All right, manifesting critical success. I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay.
I want to know what's going on inside that head of hers. Come on, critical success. Nope, this does not want me to use one of my best skills.
Yeah, you're real good at psychology.
Just can't.
Yeah, you don't see much. Like she's not giving away anything, but the only sense you get from her is one of like impressed curiosity, because for some reason she has figured out that you didn't just guess. She's figured out something happened. But that's all you can read on her.
Zeb's not too surprised if she's figured out something happened. Her god, I guess, does time bullshit all the time.
Ganymede, we also don't know what's happened, right?
No.
Yeah.
Zeb is the best investigative journalist you've ever seen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only person who could guess would be Irene, because she's used the pocket watch before and knows what that experience is. And had also experienced the time fuckery of when Ava was switched.
That's
and
right. Well,
Ava's dad was
actually,
switched back.
Irene, why don't you give me a power check? That's a great
Sure.
point.
I love power checks.
I know. Great. That's great. Maybe it's just something in the air, like that feeling, or maybe it's because of how Zeb is reacting, but it feels familiar to you. Moeru is looking at all of you. You asked why she's looking for Hypatia Masters. Tying up loose ends.
And that would be us, presumably, as well. Loose ends.
Oh, you're certainly part of it.
Okay, so sorry, just kind of playing some catch up
Mm.
here. Where are you taking us?
She looks at Charlie. I'm gonna give you another free psychology roll, Zeb.
Okay. Come on.
Come on, buddy, you're good at this shit.
This is like my only other Call of Cthulhu character.
One or two.
Critical success.
Is that it?
Critical success.
Reroll. Do it again.
God, yes, fine.
Can't be in the
Okay.
80s a fourth time in a row. It would be silly if it were.
This is, I swear to God, just like my other character, like 85 and sleight of hand or whatever it's called, and never succeeded on it. Never. Come on.
It's gonna be one this time, for sure.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
there
There we
you
go,
go.
thank God.
As Charlie speaks and Moira moves her eyes to him, there's kind of a lightness to her. She maybe now you could interpret like her being caught as like slight annoyance. It's like slightly annoying to her, but when Charlie speaks and her eyes go to him, that kind of mirth is not present. I'm trying to think if you've seen anything else kind of similar to this. So you know how Victor, right? Victor? Is my brain short-circuiting?
Irene's.
Victor? Yeah.
Victor, yes.
Yeah,
Victor,
nailed
yes.
it. So it's 2.5 years. You know how Victor looked at Charlie? This is like times 1,000. Like,
What did I do to you, ma'am?
you don't know, do you?
I don't know.
She's seething. She wants to hurt him.
I suspect that she was leading to us to some lying through his teeth right now. Like, or like, what's the word? Misdirecting, I guess. She was leading us to some sort of ambush. I think.
You suspect.
Yeah, I suspect. I think I remember reading about a place where Carlisle expedition was ambushed, massacred. And I think that's exactly where we're going. My guess is correct.
Except, of course, if you've done your research, they were not massacred by
Yes,
Nandi
Yes,
tribesmen.
we all know that.
Okay. So, what now?
Well, I could scream. call my, what would you refer to them as? Bodyguards to emerge from their hiding places. You wouldn't be able to kill me before they got here. She looks at Ganymede.
The look on Ganymede's face says that she knows that's true.
But you are, in fact, looking for Hypatia Masters.
In a casual way, yes.
Would you say it's important to you?
Only one thing is important to me anymore, Mr. Rapp.
Feel free to share with the group.
Oh, the, safe bringing into the world of Annie's child.
But Ganymede is looking away kind of thoughtfully, and then she looks back and makes eye contact with Moira. But why? I understand the mechanics of it all, but why is it important to you?
She is quiet for a moment, just kind of breathing as she considers your question. Because it is what I agreed to do, you could say it is what I was born to do.
You were born to betray all of humanity into the hands of some alien sociopath.
Not all of us have the, freedom, the affluence, the... And she kind of looks at Zeb, the sheer dumb luck to choose our own path in this world.
I don't know why she's looking at Zeb. Zeb's not the one with sheer dumb luck. Zeb looks over at Charles at that statement.
Ganymede says, no, of course that's true, but you've amassed great power for yourself. And you could certainly choose your own path now. I forgive me, but I don't believe that you're in this anymore because you have to be. It seems as though you're in it because you want to be. And I don't understand why.
She kind of shakes her head a bit. I suppose one thing you should know about me is that I made the best choices out of the limited ones I ever had.
And now, you have no choice left at all.
Make a psychology, Ganymede.
Oof, I'm gonna re-roll that if that's
Okay.
right.
Do you want to...
I could life preserver this.
Yeah, Zeb has a 75.
Oof.
Yeah, I'll life preserver this.
Okay, let's do
Okay.
it. Will you update these sheets with the re-roll and the...
Yep.
Great. So you can, yeah.
Look
Oh!
at that.
That is.
That's an extreme.
Extreme success.
That's an extreme for you.
Wow.
Very good. So you just said. What did you just say?
And now you have no choice left.
Hmm. Excellent. Okay. She seems to take a bit of umbrage with that. Kind of, darts her eyes at you, Ganymede, and kind of, as the rest of Akomu's skin falls off, kind of cracks her neck and... With that extreme success, like, from what she's described and what Zeb's described about an ambush and all that, seems like if all she wanted was to, bring the spawn safely into this world as she's meant to do, she would never be here. That's silly. That's a bad move if that is all she wanted. Why wouldn't she have killed you while you were sleeping over these last 3 days? She could have easily. From what she's saying, she obviously seems to want something. And it doesn't look like she's completely satisfied with her choice of employer at the moment.
Does she respond in any way to that?
Say it again for me.
And now you have no choice at all?
She doesn't respond verbally to it, but you're picking up all of this. Yeah, looks dissatisfied with something and obviously wants something from you. Charlie and Irene, why don't you make spot hiddens?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm so good at that.
Nice. Nice. Irene, you got one coming?
So good at that.
Yep.
Cool.
Come on. And
hey. Okay, that's a hard. Irene, this time it is you who notices something in the air moving towards you with great speed and still distant, but something's moving towards you.
Charlie is still looking at Moiru and says, "What exactly do you remember about Hypatia?" Because she was replaced with Annie.
Yes, Mr. Rapp. I know. And that, I mean, with the 2 psychology checks from before, this is the kind of
The reason she hates Charles.
yes.
She's mad at me because it's my fault that Annie
source.
replaced Hypatia?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god, I didn't want this! What are you talking about? I don't fucking want this!
Yeah, but both Zeb and Ganymede can kind of put that together now.
Yeah.
I think that,
yeah.
Anyone with ears can put that together now.
I think that anger at this whole situation is a bit misplaced.
Oh, please educate me.
I mean, do I have to educate you? Because that feels pretty obvious. That's gonna be a little snarky.
My favorite line from the Witcher series is Yennefer going, "Please tell me how stuff works."
I mean, I think you're angry at Charles because you feel like you can't really be angry at the person who is to actually, or person, I say person, the being that is actually responsible for all of this. And so you're taking it out on poor Charles over here. When you know he's just as much of a victim of all of this.
Someone just called Charlie a victim? Oh my god,
It's his dream.
that's going to my head forever.
This is the one area.
It's true, in this one instance.
This one instance, Charles is a victim.
And last thing with the psychology checks, because y'all used rerolls and things on them. Obviously when, I think it was Charlie who asked if finding Hypatia Masters was important to her. Deeply so. And that seems to be disconnected from safely bringing into the world the spawn. Irene, that thing is fast and it's getting bigger.
Yeah. So I think Irene's been kind of listening to this conversation, but she's been she's clearly distracted as she's looking into the distance. Miss Moero, I'm going to guess that part of whatever was going to happen next involves something very large and flying towards us right now.
Yes.
Doesn't quite look like the things we've encountered before, I don't think. Much larger.
Yeah, why don't you call off your little friend and we can have a civil conversation about, we can talk this out, I don't know if you've ever heard of group therapy sessions, but I feel like we could all really use one right now.
When that thing lands, this conversation is over.
And you never find out where Hypatia may or may not be. So, I think it's really in your best interest to help us, help you, help us, help you,
Make a persuade.
Let's go. All right, come on. Critical success. What a roll.
Okay.
Oh God. Manifesting. Why is it not working?
Try doing
today?
the opposite. Try manifesting critical failure.
I don't know. Is this
See what happens. See what happens.
Maybe
You
don't
don't
do
know.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore, Lord.
I don't know.
Then if it happened, we'd be like, why'd you manifest that?
Come on, roll 20. Don't do me like that.
Nice.
Roll 20.
Nice.
Why are you doing me like this?
I would love one
have-
day a super cut.
I have exactly 44 luck right now.
Stop.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'd do that if I were you.
But
Oh,
here's
you-
the
it
thing,
would
Zeb
exactly-
knows,
yeah.
Zeb
Put him at
knows
30.
what this thing can do.
Yeah.
Is also the thing.
I will say before you spend anything, you would need more than a regular success. before you spend anything.
God, what's roll 28 today?
I don't know.
At the end of the day, this entire situation actually is in your best interest. Whether or not you know where Hypatia is right now, at the end of this, she is not going to become some horrible being. She is not going to be destroyed by the spawn inside her.
You make a persuade.
Okay. I can do this. No, I can't. Can I use charm instead? If you want me to roll persuade, it's fine.
I'm trying to figure out how. I'm not sure that Charlie's capable of charming her.
Okay.
The one woman.
Critical success, and I will use a reroll on this one should I need to, but I won't because it's going to be a critical success. Hard
Ooh,
success.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. There is a... You see doubt on her face. There is an acknowledgement of what you're saying, but it's like she doesn't fully want to believe it, you know? Do you know where she is?
Lie through your teeth, Charles. Lie like you lie.
I can't lie to her. Look at her.
Look at her.
What good would that do? Then she'd be like, Charlie's even more of a piece of shit. He lied. We don't. But we are actively looking for her. And you are one, but we have a network of people who we trust and who trust us that are actively looking for her. If you kill us right now, that information is lost because they'll sure as fuck never give it to you. I don't want to die right now. I want to stop Annie from dying. And maybe that doesn't work with your whole thing. But we could be useful to each other.
Someone has been preventing me. From finding her. And this very grudgingly comes out of her mouth. There's certainly a long silence before she says that. And I am being watched. But not spoken to. If you find her, will you bring her to the mountain?
Will you let us pass? Alive.
The ritual will begin at the base of the west side. This path will be watched. There is a ledge on the south side. That will be unwatched once things commence. Through that cavern, there is a path to where the mother rests. I cannot allow you to I will have to defend the child, but there will be time.
Charlie kind of looks at the others with like a little bit of a nod. Like, this seems like the best deal that we're gonna get. I think that's agreeable to all of us.
Ganymede nods
Zeb will nod.
and lowers the shotgun.
Zeb
We
will
will
lower the sword.
We'll find Hypatia and bring her to the south side ledge, and we'll meet you there.
At this point, Irene, this creature, you can fully see the kind of reptilian wings and the dragon-like mouth. It's not close enough that you can make out a lot of details. It lands kind of in the middle of the corrupt ground, and you start to hear voices. Moeru says, I need to handle this. You should start back. You have 10 days.
Yep. Charlie will nod and turn around to head back the way we fucking came.
Zeb will back away slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Ganymede will wait until last.
Mm-hmm.
And before she goes, she'll say, she'll turn back and say, Moeru, from one witch to another, we always have a choice.
Back to Nairobi?
We're gonna have to get in contact with our people, so probably.
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
think that's the right place for us to regroup and see what, like you were saying, what our extended team has learned.
Mm-hmm.
I do think like the first chance, like once we're a little ways away from Moeru, Zeb's just like, oh dear Lord, oh my gosh, that was oh man. And I think that Zeb sort of goes in, oh good.
Zebulon, how did you know? What tipped you off?
I'm just absolutely. Would you? I think Zeb's like, would you believe me if I said I was the best investigative journalist in the
Well, I knew that already. She has a kind of playful smile on her face.
Zeb doesn't the pocket watch disappear.
No,
Or is it
no.
just or is it just cracked with the gem?
Yeah, the gems on the face
Yeah.
are cracked.
Yeah.
2 of them now, as opposed to 1.
Zeb sort of pulls out the pocket watch. Mr. Jackson's little timepiece here.
I wonder where
Yes.
it went. And I think that she'll like step forward and like look at the watch, having held it before, and that one day had just disappeared from her pockets.
Just kind of showed up in my pocket one day, back in England, and well, it seems it gave me the ability to go back in time a little bit. You know, saying that now still feels weird, but probably not as weird as if I had said it like in England.
Well, I guess after I used it, it went to the next person who would be able to use it.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. I'm not gonna lie. It was bad. It was bad.
I've no doubt. Very fortunate to have escaped that trap with our lives, I think.
Yeah.
Well, at least we won't have to cut our way back. We had to cut our way here.
Yeah. Who wants to helm getting you back to Nairobi without a guide?
Anyone here got good survival?
There's a navigate
I'd
skill
take navigate.
as well. And
Let's
you know,
see.
you'd imagine that I would have put more points in that as a
Base for navigate?
I take navigate or survival.
yeah.
I've got 30 in navigate, y'all.
Oh, well, you've got more than I do. I have 28.
I mean, you're all helping, so if somebody wants to make
Yeah.
it with a bonus die, that's fine too.
Am I going to go on the limb
What
that I have the highest navigate right now?
I
Yeah.
have fuck all.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
And I don't think Charles has navigate.
I don't think I was looking for survival, but for navigate, no, I've got 10.
Okay.
Nada.
All right. Okay. So what do I have? A bonus die?
Yep.
Come on, roll 20. Don't fuck me.
Okay. That's a critical success.
Oh my God. I just need a bonus
Literally
die
a
and
crit.
everything. I just need a bonus die and everything.
Literally a crit.
All
Amazing.
right. You are going to be able to get back in 3 days. It's not going to cost you extra time at all. Nothing. Fantastic. Also, as you're going, Zeb, how are you catching flies? You had enough for 4 days. We'll say this is the 4th. You need enough to get back.
What kind of food do we have?
Oh, I'm sure you picked up something in the village to get you here.
Anything sweet?
Ah, yeah, I'm sure. It's probably like, what did Akomo bring you? There were like milk and plantains.
Yeah, I think Zeb is like given who to one of the others,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes a little ways away in the evening, and then just sets out something to attract flies.
Okay.
Like
Excellent.
some food, like a little, just like a plantain.
Yeah.
Plantain or something.
Yeah, great. Roll me a D4.
Hey,
Great. Okay, so you have enough for the entire journey back and 1 day in the city. Oh no, 2 days in the city. We'll
Right.
say.
feeding who very well.
Yeah.
But like, you may have to find that thing, and I hope that you're able to.
Great. So you make the trek back along the same path to Nairobi. You know you will not be able to go this way when you return to the Mountain of the Black Wind. As Morero said, it would be watched. Also, I misspoke. The ritual will begin at the base, the east base. And this ledge entrance is along the south. So it is likely that you will have to go through the Aberdare Forest, which is a lengthier trip. But you are able to return to Nairobi. Is there anything you want to establish or talk about on the way?
I don't think it needs to be like a full-blown discussion, but probably we're just like hyper focused because like the whole thing falls through if we can't find Hypatia. So like that's where we're gonna focus our efforts, I would assume, pretty much from the moment we get back, is on locating Hypatia and figuring out where she is. Yeah, but I can't think of anything else.
Point out that we're assuming Hypatia will want to go. If she doesn't, I can't imagine that we'll force her.
I mean, we gotta do our best to convince her that she's the key to us being able to stop this whole thing. If she wants this thing to be done and over for good. And I hate to put her in that situation, but
There is some very clear attachment from Mweru to Hypatia. I can't imagine that is unfounded. And given our limited experience with changes in time, Hypatia may have some vague memory of her pregnancy. If she doesn't want to go on her own behalf, maybe to help Annie. It's hard to say, but we'll know once we find her.
And we won't know until we do.
I know you promised we'd bring Hypatia to the ledge, but if
we
she's
can't,
not
we can't.
close by, it may be having to. I mean, hopefully we can at least figure out where she is, or get in contact with her.
We'll do the best that we can with the time that we have. And hopefully that will be enough.
Which I don't think is a lot of time, right? Because we pretty much have to. We've got like a day or two here, I think, and then we have to pretty much start.
Yeah, from what you know, right? It takes 3 days to get back, so that gives you 7 days. You didn't get any additional time tacked on. But to go the route through the Aberdare Forest will probably take 6 days.
So we just got to regroup so fast. And
we
Yeah.
probably should find someone who knows their way through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe get in touch with what's her name?
Natalie?
Miss Smith Forbes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There's a plan. Excellent. So you head back. When you do pass through the village that Akomu is from, you do find out that he has gone missing, as many in the village have. Someone else is taking care of old Bundari. Someone Akomu had been training, but he has not come out of his meditation since you've been there.
I think Zeb, if the person who's taking care of old Bundari speaks
Mm-hmm.
any English, Zeb would sort of give them a heads up about what happened. Like, not the exact details, but that
Yeah.
Okomu had clearly been replaced at some point, probably taken away by these cultists. And to keep an eye out for that. And maybe let old Bundari know if he wakes up.
Yeah. Also, all of you are going to get 3 hit points back.
Hey.
Love that for me and my broken body.
Mm-hmm. Your magic points should be back now.
I would say over this time, if our wand wasn't at max capacity, I would have spent
Yeah.
the time putting that in.
It is. Y'all are
Yeah.
good with the fly whisk.
Cool.
When you arrive back to Nairobi, where are you going? I don't think y'all, unless you did keep the rooms.
Why would we have?
Yeah.
We didn't think we were coming back here.
Yeah.
But I'll go back. I mean,
Yeah, to Hampton House.
yeah, might as well.
Yeah. It's
Just be
even
like,
yeah. It's even
gotta make
more
rooms for us.
crowded.
Yeah.
They're really like, no, we have no capacity. But there is
really?
there is a message for you though.
Okay, what's the message?
It's from Natalie Smythe Forbes,
Mm-hmm.
asking you to come to the Nairobi Star at once.
Great. After trying to bribe us into a
Yeah.
room, but they're really full.
There really is nothing
We
this
also
time.
may
The guy's
not
like,
be
I
the most
hate-
welcome people.
Right.
It's like
No, you smooth that over
So well.
perfectly.
pretty well. But still.
Then I'll just get the note and be like, share it with the group, and we should head over there directly. There's no rooms here. Everyone is coming into town before it's too late.
Yes. Well, let's go there. Perhaps Natalie will have some idea where we can stay.
We really only have the night. If we can just crash in the office even, I'd be fine.
Do you think we probably need to find somewhere with a shower? Because we've been in the forest for 6 days at this point.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to impress, Zeb?
Great.
Yeah, we'll
Just
go.
trying not to be rude.
Fantastic. You head over to the Nairobi Star. Sam, at some point, you moving through the city, starts walking in stride with you. You arrive, are shown into Natalie's office. Natalie is there. Sam is with you, along with Annabelle and John, and 2 other figures. Now, for a brief interlude. A few weeks ago, Ava Cowles and Hypatia Masters left the Bent Pyramid together. For a few days, you tried to make do in the city. You had no money. You had nothing on you. But fortunately, Ava speaks Arabic and was able to get you places to stay. But, right, a few days pass in Cairo, kind of living this way, trying to, track down the path that your friends took, trying to piece together however many days had gone by. And one night, bags were placed over your head and you were dragged out of the building you were staying in. The bags are now removed, and you are in a beautiful hotel room. Lavish. Still Egyptian decor, so you assume you're in Egypt. It wasn't a very long car ride to get here. And the only person you see, these two men kind of pull the hoods off your head and your eyes are adjusting. You hear them, like two sets of footsteps, walk out. And the only person you see is in a bath in front of you. A beautiful Egyptian woman with striking green eyes rests in a bubble bath. And Hypatia kind of rubs her eyes and says, "Miss Shafiq?" And the woman across says, "Not anymore. Miss Cowles, yes? And Miss Masters, we've met in a way."
Yeah, Ava's like, the light like adjusting, and then just sees this and is like, what's happening? Yes, hi. Miss Sorry, what was your name then?
Oh, I should come up with something people can call me. People, not in the know. And she thinks about it as she kind of like, pushes through the bath, which is very big. Call me Sharifa Rawash. Sharifa's fine between us girls.
Okay, Sharifa, what are we doing here?
Well, I thought we might be able to assist one another with some goals.
Yeah, Ava kind of looks over at Hypatia for a second.
Yeah, Hypatia certainly looks distrusting.
Right.
And you know the name Zara at this point, I'm sure. Shafiq.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely heard it from the group.
Yeah.
I feel like at least once or twice.
Well, once I heard you were in my country, I thought, well, you're probably going to want to reunite with your friends. And you're more than friends. She looks at Hypatia.
Do you know where they are?
Yes, I gave them directions. I'm very helpful that way.
I'm just glad to hear that they're all right.
It was a close one.
I wasn't really sure what had happened to them when I came back. Things were different. They weren't there.
Yes, they're all alive, and I can't say anything about their spirits, but they're headed to the mountain. And that's where I assume you want to go. Again, talking to Hypatia, who nods but doesn't say anything.
Mm. Well, if that's where they are, then if you could help us get there, we don't have any means to leave the country.
I would love nothing more than to help you get there, Miss Cowles.
You did say that we had some shared goals. Is there something that you want from us?
Oh, just your assistance with stopping the end of the world.
Oh.
Because you see, why would I want the world to end when I just got back?
Well, all right. I mean, of course, that's why I stayed with the group in the first place. I also would like to see my father again.
It sounds like we're all on the same team.
Okay, then we should probably get going. No, it's a time-sensitive kind of thing.
Wonderful. Yes, you'll have a passage to Mombasa. From there, you'll take a train to Nairobi. And, well, I don't know exactly where they are right now. Hopefully still in the city. From there, I assume you'll be able to find them and assist them with whatever plan they've concocted.
Yeah. She nods and looks at Hypatia again like, you okay? You good?
She's kind of studying Sharifa and listening to her talk. And she says, Are you Nitocris? And the woman flashes like a beautiful smile and like steps out of the tub. Puts on like a robe, still like pretty wet. And you also see on her arm there's this like circlet in the shape of a snake. And she sits in the chair across from the two of you. No, it's on like a fainting couch. Yes. Hypatia, it looks like she's short-circuiting a bit. Then why should we trust you? Wouldn't you want to continue with the great plan? And she like scoffs. Sharifa scoffs. Hypatia says, won't he be furious with that kind of interference? Sharifa says, oh, he won't be mad at me. I'm his favorite. And it's all... There are many different paths to what he wants to achieve, but they all lead to the same place, eventually. But hopefully not so soon. That seems to kind of comfort Hypatia.
I'm sorry, so you mean that even if we manage to put an end to all of this, it's going to happen anyway?
Eventually, yes.
When is eventually?
Oh, I don't know. When is the next solar eclipse? A couple of years? I don't know if they'll have time to kind of fully renew by then all the bases of power you and your friends have. Must. So maybe longer than that. He was getting very excited about, I don't know, 39, 45, somewhere in there.
Ava looks disheartened at the idea that this is just going to be an every 10-year type of shtick. But at least it won't be this year. At least it won't be soon. TM. Is there any message that you would like us to pass along?
Oh, to who? I guess you are the message? Oh. I did think of something. And she gets up and she kind of starts walking about the room. And comes back with a scroll case. She kind of offers it to the two of you.
Yeah, Ava will take it.
Yeah. It's very fragile, but kind of a really final this time. Payment of gratitude. When the two of you kind of unbind it to take a look, let's see, between the two of you, do you have any occult or Cthulhu mythos?
Let me go look. Hold on, I gotta pull up Ava's sheet. Occult. I have no Cthulhu mythos, but I have a 10 in occult.
All right, let me look at Hypatia real quick.
She must have something.
You'd think.
After what she's been through.
No, it doesn't appear. Yeah. I mean, just give me an occult roll for the heck of it.
Sure. Critical success. No.
Not bad, though. You don't understand what it is. You know from the limited magic that you were taught to be able to do the Eye of Light and Darkness spell, that it is kind of a similar vein as that.
Yeah.
But you don't understand it right away. Well, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. This makes things a lot more straightforward.
You don't understand what it is, do you?
Oh, no, I meant just like passage in general.
Oh.
She's like, of course I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Hypatia kind of looks at it and is similarly confused, but Sharifa says, this is, can bind even the most gruesome of wounds.
Oh. Would you have time to teach me?
Your schedule's going to be a bit tight, I'm afraid. But I think if you just take some time. You're studious. You're the studious type. Weren't you, studying to be a nurse or something like that?
I was.
Well, this seems to be the perfect combo. Looks at the two of you.
Yeah.
And Hypatia stands up. She's like, how much do you know? Sharifa raises her eyebrows. Of what was happening to me. Oh, I know everything. That's why I'm giving you this specific. He's very, chatty when things are going well.
We'll put it to good use. Thank you. I'll be sure to study it.
If you survive, circle back around to Cairo sometime. I'd love for you to see what I'm going to do with the place.
Ava just kind of just smiles a bit, like, that's... Huh, okay. Like fixing up an old kitchen is kind of what it sounds like, you know?
At this point she like, goes to get dressed, and you see, like, it all kind of just looks like jewelry, but you recognize it, at least the crown, from your research, as she, like, places it, you know. Like, the rest of her ensemble that she's putting on is very much, like, super couture 1920s in Egypt. And then these pieces. Well, you'd better get a move on. You know your way to the train and all that, right? Or do you need... I could send someone with you.
I think that we could manage it. We're resourceful.
She smiles slightly patronizing, but only slightly. Well, good. That's all settled then. Good luck.
Yeah, I think Ava will very carefully roll up the scroll and put it back in the case. Put it with her things, and then kind of just grab Hypatia by the hand to be like, let's go, girlie.
Yep.
We got things to do.
Yep. You are able to hire a car to take you to Port Said. You have, I think, along with the scroll, she probably gave you a bit of money to get on your way. And you're able to catch a boat to Mombasa. The train from Mombasa to Nairobi arriving. Let's see, arriving Thursday, Friday, on Saturday, which is the same day that Charlie, Ganymede, Irene, and Zeb walk through the doors of the Nairobi Star for the second time. Before you see Ava Cowles, and a red-headed woman with haunted eyes who can only be Hypatia Masters.
Yeah, I imagine Ava's wearing the same outfit, like probably washed at this point, but the same outfit as the last time you saw her.
Ava? How?
It's not that complicated, but it's probably too complicated to explain right now.
Once you landed in Mombasa, I feel like Ava and Hypatia were approached by people Ava would recognize as Annabelle Claiborne Montgomery and John Craig, and kind of like they immediately headed with you back to Nairobi, brought you to the Star, kind of told you what was going on. I think you were all in the middle of a discussion like, I don't even know if they're coming back and we have to wait till Friday's already passed. Like,
Yeah, how are we going to get to the mountain?
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't have...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here you all are.
This is amazing.
This is Miss Hypatia Masters. She'll say, like, turning to be like, look. When I came back to the room in the bent pyramid, she was there with me.
Yes. Ganymede's eyes look up. It's like she's calculating in her head. Yes, I think perhaps that makes sense.
Zeb, you recognize this woman from the vision you had in the exhibition in London. You saw a girl dressed in green with red hair holding a camera. And this is her, although a bit, a slightly older, but not by much.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Masters. And it's really good to see you, Ava. And I think that she'll like close the distance and like place her hand on Ava's arm, just kind of looking her up and down, that mom way of like, are you good? Like nothing.
Yeah. I mean that the grief that she wore openly, right? That's not there anymore. There's like kind of like a self-assuredness about her. After everything that they have been through the past few weeks and everything with her father.
And knowing what she knows, Irene experienced the weird backlog of events that happen. She like squeezes her. And your father?
I haven't spoken to him yet, but I have every reason to believe that he's all right and back home in Australia.
I know, whatever you did, I felt it, remembered it, even though it's not really a memory.
We were sent here to find all of you again. I mean, she kind of gestures to Annabelle and John. They had said that you had left already, days ago.
Hypatia says, I was trying to map out a way, find it again, even though I've never been there, I guess.
Like almost like an internal compass, right?
She nods her head.
Who were you sent by?
I believe that you all knew her as Miss Shafiq, although that's not the name that she's using anymore.
Neato, Chris.
She's not really using that name either, but yes, I think so.
Get too deep into this, and this seemingly a little too convenient moment. Just to make sure. How did I show up in Australia, Ava?
I believe you were wheeled in on a board.
All right, okay, this is Ava. We're good.
I thought
like a gurney type thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Like, how are we introduced strapped on a board and
That
just
took me a
someone
second. I was
by
like,
with us.
how did Zeb come back to Australia? That was a weird one.
Time trap.
All right, we're good. Apologies about that. We've had a few run-ins with people using other people's faces recently.
Ganymede says, we don't have much time. Ms. Masters, I wonder, would you be interested in taking a trip to the mountain with us? And before you answer, do you care to be reunited with Mweru?
I think Ava's ears kind of perk up at that, and she looks at Hypatia like,
I need to speak with her. We were both lied to.
By Nyarlathotep, I assume.
She nods.
Seems like a running theme.
I think Charlie steps forward, looking at Hypatia. Lied to in what regard specifically?
That on the other side of the birth, that it would still be me. And that we would be together.
I know that. And he kind of looks at like Ganny and Irene and Zeb, that we don't have much time. But to give you the briefest of summaries, you were replaced with somebody that I love very much. And I have no doubt that she's been lied to as well.
We think, or Miss Rawash Nitocris gave us something. Something I don't think Mweru has access to, or we've been studying it.
Yeah, Ava will pull it out of her bag, the scroll.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's been able to study it to be able to at least understand the basics of it at this point.
Yeah, I think so. So this is the healing spell. It is folk magic.
Okay.
It is not mythos magic, but both you and Hypatia know it now.
Great.
Though you
We've
have
probably been helping each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
She said this was a way. I don't know how she knew everything about what had happened, but from what I remember of what was going on with me, even if I could have cut that thing out of me, I would have bled to death. It was almost... And I think she's described this to you before, Ava, and you've been kind of...
Yeah, we've definitely talked about it.
Yeah. It was more like it formed on me, like a parasite more than a child, and it was feeding off of me. But I knew severing that connection would be... would leave me in mortal peril. And I knew this near the beginning. I don't think I had much of my mind by the end. But with this, I think it's possible to save this person. To cut it out and save them. Not just their body, but maybe even their mind. But I tried, and in the beginning I tried to get it off, and no blade I held could do it.
Ava kind of looks at the group and puts the scroll carefully, like she's like holding it very close.
Yeah.
If we can find a way to remove it, I believe that me and Hypatia can. Oh my God. Me and Hypatia can save her. But we do have to find a way to remove it. And of course, I'm sure that we will meet opposition who do not want us to remove the spawn.
I think we can handle the opposition.
Then we should probably get going sooner rather than later.
Well, time to forge a new road. The previous one we went on was not the best, to say the least.
Sam says, if you plan on going through the forest, I can guide you.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, much appreciated, Sam. I think,
Well.
we should make sure we get anything we need now, and then we'll head out.
No time like the present. As you begin to prepare for your second journey toward the mountain of the Black Wind, that's where we're going to end this episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Whee!
Wow.
Reunited!
Reunited, and it feels so good. Good stuff. Good
Glad we were on the
stuff.
same wavelength there.
What an episode. Let's go around to everyone, see how they're doing. Let's start with Tommy.
Oh man, that was great. Like just I mean, that was that conversation with Moira was very good. And Zeb isn't only the brawn of the the Brussel of the group, he knows stuff sometimes.
Listen, you know what I was thinking of, Tommy? I was literally thinking of I don't want to spoil. If you haven't seen The Good Place, take your headphones out. The moment where he's like, Jason figured it out. This is a real low.
Yeah. But that was great. Super. I mean, I can't wait. I cannot wait for sort of this last little hurrah. And yeah, I can't wait. Let's see. I'm all sorts of scattered right now. I do tabletop RPG stuff here, and I do some video editing work. If you are interested in commissioning some work, check out my Twitter. I've got posted there with all my information.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's go to Summer.
So what a fun episode. Definitely had that big Good Place vibes for Zeb. Like, really? You figured this one out? And us all being like, Zeb, that's right. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he did. He's our boy.
He's our investigative journalist. Of course he did.
Yeah.
He's got the
Thank
highest
fuck.
psychology score here.
Thank-
Surely.
Nice.
I know. But he never, he barely passed his psychology, that one psychology tech. Yeah, what a crazy, went so differently the second time than it did the first time, huh? Practice makes perfect. But yeah, super excited to have Ava and Hypatia with the group. That's going to be super fun. This spell, guys, is sick. It is so sick. I was just reading through it and I'm like, because it's good. It's really good.
There are like no healing spells in Cthulhu. There's this one.
There's this one, and this one's great because it fixes everything. It's great. Yeah, I am Summer. You can find me on Twitter at Just a Summer Job. You can find me on Twitch at It's Just a Summer Job. I stream most days of the week. I'll be streaming later today. You can find me here every Saturday morning. You can find me on Dylan's channel, Anarsis, every Monday. Just like we are in the home stretch, and boy, you can tell that we're in the home stretch. It really just feels like it. And also, like Zara, Charlie really going out there for Zara it's just been the gift that keeps on giving.
Keeps on giving.
And I don't know what else to say about it. It's literally the best. It was the best for everybody, and you're all welcome for my sacrifice.
Perfect.
See you guys next week.
Let's go up to Allie.
Okay, I mean, I can admit when I was wrong about something. I am a big enough person to admit that I was wrong about this thing in particular, and this is now my favorite NPC in the campaign, at least who's not partnered with me. Other than that, my favorite one. What a show. That was just so fun. My favorite flashback of all time in the campaign. This tense moment of trying to figure out how to get out of this deadly situation. Amazing all the way around. I cannot wait for next time. And that's where you'll find me. You'll find me right here next time. So I hope to see you there. So much fun. Thanks for the tips and subs and everything today. Always appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. I am sure it is going to mean the difference between life and death. At this point, I mean, that's it. It's going to mean the difference between life and death, saving the world and the world falling into eldritch darkness. Somebody give me the hook. I'm done here.
You're probably right. I mean, you're probably right. Let's go over to Kienna.
Oh man, I'm glad we managed to avoid combat and struck a good deal and reunited with our friends. Best way we could end this little bit of like chill time before we go and possibly die in the finale. Although we have to travel first and handle some PC drama and NPC drama, and then we'll go fight. You know,
Yeah.
as one does in this campaign.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
I am very excited for the last little bit of this arc. But until then, you can find me over on Twitter at Kienna. Best way to figure out what I'm doing when I'm not here on the channel, mostly just here though. Again, I will plug Archon, the setting book, award-winning setting book now, published through Metal Wave Games that was co-created by me and friend of the channel, Jason. We're getting back to work on the system, so that's going to be coming out sometime next year. But yeah, that's it. What about you, Lauren?
I'm Lauren. I run this game. I'm the salty half of this channel, and we only have 4 episodes max left. In a month from now, we're going to be done Masks of Nyarlathotep. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. It should be a good time. We'll see who lives and who dies and who suffers a fate worse than death. Any of those are options. It'll probably be someone, one of the characters. We'll see. Anyway, you can find us over on Twitter and YouTube at Salty Sweet Games. Thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice and Grinding Coffee Co. We are going to go raid a friend, and we will see you next week. Wait, bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.